I have a cozy bookish icebreaker. If you guys were given like you won a sweepstakes and they're like, we're gonna send you on a bookish retreat for 1 week, anywhere you want to go in the United States, where would you pick? Like like luxury hotel, doesn't matter, Airbnb, anything. Like, where would you want to be for like a reading, relaxing vacation, flying solo?
So it's like you get to just go and read somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I was just making sure.
I mean, you can do activities if you want to, but
You don't have to.
Well, I probably.
It's more like what view do you want to look at?
Kate's like, fuck that.
I'm done with activities. Okay. Where would I go?
I know mine. I'd go to the Pacific Northwest. That's my like peaceful,
Ooh,
sets
yeah.
fire to my soul type place, like the coast and like the lush green.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
I would pick Seattle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like,
have you ever been?
No.
oh,
Me neither.
But I really want to go. I just feel like if I went to Seattle and I went to like visit, I feel like that would be one of those vacations where like I would be like, I want to move here.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like all I would think about.
Yeah.
Man, I just can't decide. Mainly, like, it would be cool to go to like an Airbnb that's like in a cave or something that's like super dark.
Ooh, yeah.
And just like so cool, like 60 degrees is the top temp of the day. Just cool and dark and quiet. And I could just read.
Yeah. I thought of it because you and I were texting the other night and we sent each other pictures of like the ambiance that we put on YouTube when we read. Like how you do like the like rain and fireplace or like thunderstorm or like beach waves or whatever. And I was like, like I feel like I always like am more productive with reading. Like I'm not on my phone as much when I have those in the background because I like just kind of like imagine that I'm there. But I always pick like a dark like skyrise in like a city where it's like pouring down rain. So I was like, I should go to like Seattle.
I just looked up to see if they have like like PNW ambiance, and of course, like 1, 2, 3, the 4th or 5th one down is the Twilight Forest ambiance.
That's amazing.
That would be fun.
Oh my god.
There's
if you really like the mild temps, Kate, I feel like we could find some bookish event to go to in that area at some point, and I would.
Oh yeah, I think we could.
We all
need to.
Like,
I get my life back together after one more travel date, and then I can think about another one.
Where do you travel next?
I'm going to her book event tomorrow.
Oh yeah!
Ashley's.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
When do you fly out? In the morning?
Yeah, I'll be boarding in like 12 hours.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Then I can catch up with like sleep and reading after that, and then let's book another one. It's supposed to be 89 in Houston tomorrow, and I'm like, fuck you, Houston.
I can't imagine. I was like so hot. It was like 65 here a couple weeks ago, and I was out running errands, and I was like,
yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun though.
It'll be fun. I'm so excited for you.
Dun.
Me too.
I know. It'll be cool.
That was one we had chatted about doing. It just didn't work out.
I know. The stars didn't align.
No.
It's okay.
Trucker.
No.
At least we're here virtually together.
I know. Who came up
I
with
can't
this
remember
one?
where.
Was it you, Kate? Did someone ask about it?
Yeah, I saw a TikTok that was like, I can't, or like they're like, right now I'm too dumb to do multiple POVs. Like, what are thrillers with just one POV? And I was like, oh yeah, sometimes you really don't want to head hop. Basically, is something they call it when you're just swapping around. So I was like, I'm sure we could think of some single POV thrillers we love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Breeze.
I guess it's so interesting.
And then Gare thought that he couldn't, and then he did.
I was like, I'm just gonna bow out. They can do it together.
10 minutes later, he's like,
actually, it's been 5 minutes, and now I have double the amount, triple the amount.
Yeah, I was like, I have so many.
Well, it's interesting because I never really thought about it, and I think I thought about it with timelines once. Like, wow, so many thrillers have multiple timelines, and I guess I've thought about it, but I didn't realize how many.
Yeah, it is common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like thinking of like a lot that I love, and I was like, oh, that's a dual POV. Oh, that's like, you know, a third person.
Do you think that this, so I'm interested because like for my upcoming book club, we're reading a Mary Higgins Clark book, like a 1975 pub date. Like, do you think that this is something that's newer, or have mysteries and thrillers always had multiple POVs? Like, I just don't know.
I think it's newer. I don't want to like say this in like a like shady way, but like I feel like they really took off with Gone Girl.
Oh, okay.
Like having a 2-person perspective for me is like when I noticed that the most. And then like multiple perspective I noticed most, like more than 2. I think my first one was probably The Girl on the Train.
Oh yeah,
because I think that one had 3.
And yeah, when you think of the like old school detective mysteries people talk about, it is really, you're just like with the detective.
That's what came into my head. I was like, when you think of like, I never read, for example, And Then There Were None, which is like a locked room. Was that from the detective's point of view, or just like a one narrator?
That's a good question.
I think it's from the detective's point of view.
I think so.
Remember correctly. I just remember like reading like Silence of the Lambs, the Archie Sheridan series by
a single unnamed narrator in And Then There Were None. It's third person. Actually.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them were third person until like
it might be that third person limited, yeah. Where the story's narrated by a third person narrator, meaning the narrator is not a character, but an external observer.
But they're not breaking the fourth wall. It's just third person. Okay. That's interesting.
Interesting. It was a good question.
Oh, thank you guys. I just didn't know, because I feel like I'm a little newer to the game.
I just don't feel like I noticed it really until Gone Girl.
Maybe that's why it was such a influential book.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay. I think we've come to like have an order.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably always like, I can start. Well, my first one is my favorite Rachel Housel Hall, and Now She's Gone. Came out in 2020. Isabel Lincoln is gone, but is she missing? It's up to Grayson Skies to find her. Although she is reluctant to track down a woman who may not want to be found, Gray's search for Isabel Lincoln becomes more complicated and dangerous with every new revelation about the woman's secrets and the truth she's hidden from her friends and family. Featuring 2 complicated women, which makes me scared that it's not single POV, but I think it is. In a dangerous cat and mouse game. And Now She's Gone explores the nature of secrets and how violence and fear can lead you to abandon everything in order to survive. I still feel relatively sure it's single POV, but I could be wrong.
Well, it does say, okay, one review says it takes place over 2 timelines. We're introduced to a protagonist, Grayson Sykes.
Yeah. I think I'm still pretty fucking sure that it's all through Grayson.
I love how this is the first one, and we're like,
this is number 1, and I'm like,
imagine like somebody like starts reading this one, and they're like the like first recommendation, and they're like, 2 people in here.
Asshole lied to me.
Moment of truth. I'm pulling.
They're like, maybe they thought one perspective at a time.
Okay, the chapter names do not alternate.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty sure that it's one POV.
The reviews are kind of saying that people really liked like the main character Grayson. I feel like they would say more if it.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved this book. I remember loving Grayson, who I think is the main character.
Yes. You're like, do I remember this book? Or do I just know I liked it?
Just good vibes.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
The vibes were there. I love it.
Well, now I don't want to go.
We're all scared.
Now I'm nervous.
Go if you don't want to.
I'm just I'm kidding. I'm fine. I 100% know this one is because like this book is like engraved in my brain. And I haven't talked about it 100 times like some of the other ones I wanted to pick, so I'm really excited. So my first one, which was the easiest pick for me, was Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar.
That was on my pile too.
Whoa.
Was it? Oh my god.
So cool.
I only heard about it because of this podcast. No, that's why I have 10, Gare.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, she has 10.
Yeah, could you imagine if I only had like 4 or 5 and you guys each had them? But in the summer of 1988, the mutilated bodies of several missing girls begin to turn up in a small Maryland town. The grisly evidence lead police to a terrifying assumption that a serial killer is on the loose in the quiet suburb. Soon a rumor begins to spread that the evil stalking local teens is not entirely human. Law enforcement, as well as members of the FBI, are certain that the killer is a living, breathing madman, and he's playing games with them. For once peaceful community trapped in the depths of paranoia and suspicion, it feels like a nightmare that will never end. Recent college graduate Richard Chismar returns to his hometown just as the curfew is enacted and a neighborhood watch is formed. In the midst of preparing for his wedding and embarking on a writing career, he soon finds himself thrust into the real-life horror story. Inspired by the terrifying events, Richard writes a personal account of the serial killer's reign of terror, unaware that these events will continue to haunt him for years to come. So, written by Richard Chismar, starring Richard Chismar, this is similar to how, like, The Shards is, where, like, Richard is, like, envisioning his real hometown, real people that he knew, but it's not a true case.
Yeah.
So, I recommend with this one, personally, physical copy, because the thing that I think is so cool about this is he actually, like, puts photos in the book that like look like they're crime scene photos. Like, even if it'll be like a man with like a ski mask on that's like allegedly caught on like somebody's like surveillance camera. Yes. Yeah. Or like there's a sequel too, and I remember like one, there was like something where if like I think there were like dead bodies found in like trash bags, and he like loaded up these trash bags to make it like it's just so cool. But it is a fictional story that will creep the shit out of you. And all I can say is it is no surprise to me that he co-writes with Stephen King.
Have you ever read any of their books together?
I haven't. Richard Chismar sent me one about Gwendy. Gwendy's Final Task, I think it's called. But I haven't read it yet. But I'm obsessed with chasing the boogeyman and becoming the boogeyman. And I believe there's going to be a third one.
Oh, really?
Nice.
So, yeah.
That one is really creepy and good. It took, like, if you're a person that's, like, really conscious of pacing, like, keep in mind he, like, takes a minute to set the scene, and then stuff, like, starts happening. So, like, just...
I feel like that was aimed at me.
Okay. Just
I know.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like
No, it's a good disclaimer.
I feel like I'm a disclaimer queen, because I'm just like, if I love a book and I want someone else to love it, I'm like, listen, here are some things that I think as they're reading it, I'm addressing it, and then you're gonna still love it.
Right.
So
I'm such a visual person that like I really enjoyed the like slower aspect in the beginning, because it really helped me like build like a vision of this like suburban town with like sunshine all the time and like sprinklers going and like kids running around not being annoying, just like kid noises.
yeah.
So I was like, oh my god.
I can still like envision the street, and it's so probably so interesting because like I know what my vision of like his house and the house next across the street, whatever, like I know what mine looks like, and I have no idea obviously like if yours looks the same, but you know what I'm saying, but like I know exactly what I think it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of envisioned his house to look like the house that's in the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf.
I fucking love that house. I wanted that house so bad. I love
Me
a
too.
bungalow.
Serial killer neighbor, I don't give a shit. That house was amazing.
I was like, that house is so
move in.
Yeah. I envisioned my old neighborhood, which was like all like 1950s mid-century ranches, which I like loved, but it's kind of like same time frame. I loved those.
Yeah. I can't envision my hometown because we don't have sidewalks.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, we don't have sidewalks.
No, just Amish and drug dealers.
Well, speaking of 1950s mid-century, so I did bring up this book last time because it was Kindle Unlimited, and I'm since have read it and finished it this morning, and it's so good. Is The Devil and Mrs Davenport. This was a 5-star read for me, no questions. I honestly like didn't want to finish it because I didn't want it to end. But I'll just do a synopsis really quick in case you didn't listen to last time. The first
Kate.
Wait, what?
No, I was like, Kate.
I was just being sassy, like, and why didn't you?
I feel like every time I look down at a synopsis is when something good happens with you guys.
Or it's like we're like the two kids that are like giggling while you're like trying to do your work.
The first day of autumn brought the fever, and with the fever came the voices. Missouri, 1955. Loretta Davenport has led an isolated life as a young mother and a wife to Pete, an ambitious assistant professor at a Bible college. They're the picture of domestic tranquility until a local girl is murdered and Loretta begins receiving messages from beyond. Pete dismisses them as delusions, as a fevered female imagination. Loretta knows they're real and frightening. Defying Pete's demands, Loretta finds an encouraging supporter in parapsychologist in Dr. Curtis Hanson. He sees a woman with a rare gift, more blessing than curse. With Dr. Hanson's help, Loretta's life opens up to an empowering new purpose. But for Pete, the God-fearing image he's worked hard to cultivate is under threat. No longer in control of his dutiful wife, he sees the devil at work. As Loretta's powers grow stronger and the pleading spirits beckon, Pete is determined to deliver his wife from evil. To solve the mysteries of the dead, Loretta must first save herself. I'm obsessed with this book.
Damn.
I'm obsessed with it.
Oh my gosh. I wish I could just read 2 books at the same time.
I know. I think the thing that I was nervous about whenever I see horror, I think I might have mentioned this, like I'm like, oh, am I not going to understand it? Is it going to go over my head? It was so digestible, and like I loved, I hated her husband with like the most fiery passion. But also I told Gare before you popped on, like, I think about Mr. Rogers when he says like, look for the helpers, and like, I love the helper characters, or like the good, like you get so mad, but like you're balanced out because there's like people to root for. And I think I really love that balance in my books of like, I hate you, but I love you.
I do too.
Yeah.
It is a fun balance.
So I'm not like only raging, because you sit there and you're just like, feel like the steam coming out of your ears, and you're like, I fucking suck.
You I swear, like, sometimes I think that we are all, like, mentally, like, syncopated at times because I'm 50% through a book right now. It's called If Two Are Dead by Rick Buffina.
Yeah.
Or
Rock Moron, as autocorrect changed it. But there is a character in this book, and like as I'm reading it, like every time he shows up on the page, I like roll my eyes, and I'm like, I've never fucking hated a character as much as this man.
Oh.
And like you're supposed to hate him. I'm not like bashing the book. Like I'm obsessed with the book. It's so good. But this one character, I'm like, I have never hated somebody so much in my life, and like I just pray that by 99% he is like thrown in a wood chipper. And it's a 30-page chapter of his death. Like, I hate him so much.
Yeah. I think that's when the author really like did their job well. Because you just like evokes so much emotion.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. I think you guys like
son of a bitch.
I know. I will read it.
The way you hate institutions, Kate.
Don't I what?
The way you hate certain institutions.
Me. Speaking of institutions I hate, and men trying to control women religiously, this is one I read a really long time ago called The Book of Essie by Megan McLean Weir. And it's about Esther Ann Hicks, or Essie, is the youngest child of Six for Hicks, a reality television phenomenon. She's grown up in the spotlight, both idolized and despised for her family's fire and brimstone brand of faith. When Essie's mother, Celia, discovers that Essie is pregnant, she arranges an emergency meeting with the show's producers. Do they sneak her out of the country for an abortion? Do they pass the child off as Celia's? Or do they try to arrange a marriage and a ratings blockbuster wedding? Meanwhile, Essie is quietly pairing herself up with Rourke Richards, a senior at her school with a secret of his own to protect. As the newly formed couple attempt to sell their fabricated love story to the media, through exclusive interviews with an infamously conservative reporter named Liberty Bell, Essie finds she has questions of her own. What was the real reason for her older sister leaving home? Who can she trust with the truth about her family? And how much is she willing to sacrifice to win her own freedom? This one is very good. So Gare and I recently did books we would reread, and I almost had this one on my list. So I think that's like, it was just kind of like in my mind, and I was like, oh, I could mention that one. But like, I read it in 2018 and I still just remember how much I loved it. And there is a part of me that really thinks I might reread it someday.
I would love that.
It's available at all the libraries except for the one I want to go to today. Maybe I'll have to order it over.
Can you do a Kindle copy from your library?
I should look and see if it's on Libby. The thing is sometimes like Libby is like, oh, there's several months wait, but like it's at physically like one, and it would probably be shorter to just like have them transported over.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Yeah, I've had that book on my radar, I think like since I met Kate, because she's been a huge fan of it.
I know. I feel like I would like reading it again.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I've got to read The Devil and Mrs Davenport. I wanted to interrupt this episode really quickly. I have a goal of monetizing Bookwild, but I would love to do it without having to have ads in the podcast. And one way that I can do that is through my Patreon community. For those who don't know, Patreon is a community platform that allows creators to share what they're creating behind a paywall. And so that means exclusive content or early releases. The Bookwild Patreon has two tiers. The first tier is the bookish tier, and at that tier you get all of the episodes out a day early, and you get access to our private community chat where we can talk about anything book related or TV shows or movies. The second tier is the Bookwild tier, and it includes everything from the first tier but also Bookwild's backlist book club. So this year I've been wanting to also still read more backlist, even though I read plenty of arcs, and Bookwild's Backlist Book Club felt like the perfect way to do that. We meet on Sundays. We are international right now, so Sundays are the best way to do it. And we meet on Zoom and we all pick a book and we talk about it, and then we talk about everything else we read during the month, and then we pick another book for the next month. So it's been so much fun so far, and we'd love to have you join the book club. So if you'd like to support the Bookwild podcast, you can go to the Patreon link in the show notes and you can sign up for whichever tier interests you. And if you're looking for a free way to support the show, if you can like and review it on whichever platform you listen to, that helps so much.
Someone just asked me if I reread books, one of my friends, and I was like, I haven't, but I have a list of ones that I would. You know what I mean? Like there's ones that I would be happy to at some when I feel.
2025 has been the most stressed out TBR I've ever had in my entire life. So if it wasn't for that, I would, because I used to reread books, and like there are a few that I've read before, like a handful of times, and I think it's like really good to get out of a reading slump. I just don't know when I'll ever do it again. But there is one.
It's available on Libby. Okay, I'm gonna read it.
There.
Good idea, Gare.
Always thinking this one. But if I were to have time to reread a book, I would love to reread The Family Tree by Steph Mullen and Nicole Mabry. Liz Catalano is shocked when an ancestry kit reveals she's adopted, but she could never have imagined connecting with her unknown family would plunge her into an FBI investigation of a notorious serial killer. The tri-state killer has been abducting pairs of women for 40 years, leaving no clues behind, only bodies. Can Liz figure out who the killer in her new family is, and can she save his newest victims before it's too late?
Wow. Is that like the shortest synopsis we've ever had?
Yeah. Thank God.
I know.
But like this book is so good. It's so creepy. I'm gonna say like I did like there are like interspersed chapters of that are like third person about like the victims and like what happened to them, but it is a singular POV from Liz's perspective.
Do you mean kind of like almost like Please See Us kind of?
Yeah, but like the like victims are written in like third person, so like Liz will be like, I walked into the house and like met like this person, and then like randomly there'll be like a chapter that's like Ruby was walking to her car when the man like stole her and like whatever. So it's not like from like the victim perspective, but like they're very like short and they're very like few and far in between.
Okay, I get it. Got it.
That counts.
Yeah. But it's such a good book. I like am staring at it right now, and they put like a lot of like really cool detail into it.
I feel like I haven't heard you talk about it somehow.
I don't really think that I have. And that's why I was like super pumped when I like finally did.
It's exciting.
Find like when my panic attack went away, and I like was like, okay guys, I can do this. Because I was like thinking of ones that like I know that I've discussed Chasing the Boogeyman before, but like I will be 90 still talking about that book. But this is like another one that I was like, oh my god, like I for some reason don't think this has ever really like fit into a lot of like subjects that we've discussed, and I just loved it.
Okay, I'm going to do.
Okay,
guys. I'll just.
It always looks like it pains Steph.
Yeah.
Okay, for any background, I was like, can you give me more rules so that I can not take 3 minutes to pick? Okay, I'm just gonna go with. I don't know if we've talked about this one that many times, so I'm gonna go with a Jennifer Hillier. But I don't know if we've talked about Things We Do in the Dark that often. Have we?
Oh, we don't.
This is.
I mean, we have, but you're right, not often.
Hers are. What?
I am like beating the shit out of myself right now because like I am Jennifer Hillier's biggest fan and I didn't even think of that book for this.
I was just thinking, actually, are most of her books single POV?
I think Jar of Hearts is third person.
Okay.
Well, third person can kind of be single POV still.
So
if it's
I
just
thought
one
of it
person.
that way. As long as it didn't like flip flop chapters, I was okay with picking it. Then I think about things like the Reformatory. It's all in third person, but you can tell like the perspective shifts or like the character shift.
I think you're safe with this one because I think the only thing that changes in Things We Do in the Dark are the timeline, but it's still from the same perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because there's no labels, so we must have just figured it out at some point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's one I want to read again. Maybe I'll bring it with me. I have to bring it to Montreal.
Oh my gosh. So there is in one of my book clubs, there is this kind of like middle-aged guy, and we did a blind date with a book holiday exchange, and he ended up with this one. And I said, Tim, please read the first sentence out loud, which is, if you don't remember, there's a time and a place for erect nipples, but the back of a Seattle police card definitely isn't it. And I like love that so much. Okay, so this one is when Paris Peralta is arrested in her own bathroom, covered in blood, holding a straight razor, her celebrity husband dead in the bathtub behind her. She knows she'll be charged with murder. But as bad as this looks, it's not what worries her the most. It's only a matter of time before someone from her long-hidden past recognizes her and destroys the new life she's worked so hard to build. 25 years later, Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris's secrets. Left with no other choice, Paris must finally, once and for all, confront the dark past she thought she had escaped. Because the only thing worse than a murder charge is the dark personal history that Paris will do anything to keep hidden. Is it single POV?
Yeah.
Or is Reyes one and Paris the other?
I don't think you ever get Reyes perspective.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. She's just in it.
This was one of the first, I probably read this. I read this when it was the book of the month, which was one of my first book of the month picks ever. And then I think that I discovered this podcast and heard about Jar of Hearts. Like this was the first one I think I heard of by her.
I wonder who you heard about Jar of Hearts.
I can't remember. Actually.
Weird. Kate talks about that book so much. It's annoying. All the time. She's like always like Jar of Hearts. Supposed to be good. I'm like, what's your comfort read, Kate? She's like, Jar of Hearts. Just kidding, that's me. I think the arc of that book glowed in the dark.
What?
Whoa.
Because the real one has not.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I am looking at my shelf right now, and I remember there was like the cover was like, it was like the arc was hard to, Minotaur, I love you, Jennifer Hillier, I love you, but like the arc was like a little hard to read because there was something glued on the front page to make it like glow in the dark, and it was kind of like a little like stiff. But then I bought the Canadian paperback, and I was like,
well, I had to rebuy this one because I have some of her books are hard to find in general, but they are all, not all of them were ever hardcover, so I had to get paperbacks of all of them because I like them.
They're reissuing them.
Yeah, I finally found Creep and Freak, and The Butcher's now coming out. That's not a mass market.
The Butcher new paperback cover is amazing. I'm picking it up on Saturday.
Ooh, that's
need it in my life. Wonderland has a new cover.
That one's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I spent like an embarrassing amount of money on Wonderland to get like the like old school like original cover.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. I think I spent like $40 on a paperback.
Damn.
I found, because I hate mass market copies, I found an old library copy hardcover of The Butcher and bought it just to have like her collection. And now I'm like, okay, finally I can get like the regular paperback and have them.
I have mass market of The Butcher and Creep.
Uh-huh.
But everything else I have like paperback and arc of.
Man,
but
I need to
I want to
read
get the new I want to
Wonderland.
get the new Butcher. Wonderland is so fucking scary. Wonderland is so scary and so like dark and disturbing. There's like one thing in it I will like never forget. And I was like, that's so fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, it was dark. There's a Easter egg-ish character. I heard her say that on a podcast at some.
I think there's Easter eggs in all of her books.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, it's I know the Easter egg character.
Oh.
It's
I thought one of the detectives was the same.
What's her name? Yes. It's the female detective. She has, oh my god, what's her name?
I know. I would like for her to have another book come out soon. Hopefully.
I think she's working on one.
Let's go.
I will be feral when that happens. Yeah, it is Kim.
Sweet.
Nice.
All the weird things to maybe remember.
Listen, I love it.
Well, my next one I do not have a segue for, but I remember loving it. I think I read this in like basically a day. An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. Looking to earn some easy cash, Jessica Ferris agrees to be a test subject in a psychological study about ethics and morality. But as the study moves from the exam room to the real world, the line between what is real and what is one of Dr. Shields' experiments blurs. Dr. Shields seems to know what Jess is thinking and what she's hiding. Jessica's behavior will not only be monitored, but manipulated. Caught in a web of attraction, deceit, and jealousy, Jess quickly learns that some obsessions can be deadly. That really, it's short and it's vague, but that does sum it up. There's just some very inappropriate client-patient relationships going on.
Mm-hmm. I am going to tell you right now, I love a short synopsis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I feel like a long one like gives way too much away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Give it to me.
I feel like I don't really read them that much, unless maybe I'm looking at NetGalley. If someone recommends it to me and is like, oh, this is a good rage book and it's kind of snarky, I'm like, okay.
Cool. Bot.
Yeah.
I need it.
Kate, you are good until November to read Jennifer Hillier because this is the new Creep cover.
Oh.
Ooh.
What?
Coming out in November.
Oh, she's doing all of them over?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I'm going to get the new Wonderland and the new Butcher on Saturday.
That's exciting.
Before I take my mom out to dinner for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Whatever.
Okay, so my next pick is Jennifer Hillier. Just kidding.
Could be.
I co-sign An Anonymous Girl because that duo always fucked me up with all their books.
That one was good. Like, it's just a really good psychological thriller.
Fuck yeah, it is. Good pick.
Is interested.
All right, how about something gay?
Heyo.
This is like a literary-ish thriller. It's like slower pace, but like was very unsettling. Providence by Craig Wilsey. I read it over the summer and I am obsessed with this book. It's so good. It's about Mark Lawson, a professor stuck in the middle of Ohio who is smart enough to get a job at an elite liberal arts college, but not smart enough to know better when he meets characteristic sophomore Tyler Cunningham. In Tyler, Mark sees another way of being in the world. He finds Tyler's self-possession both compelling and unsettling. Caught in the rush of sex and secrets, Mark ignores the increasing evidence that Tyler can't be trusted. But by the time Mark comes to his senses, the irreparable damage is done. Providence shows how feeling trapped in our own lives can lead us to make choices we otherwise would not, and the ways in which sexual desire can distort our senses of self and other, right or wrong.
Damn.
So fucking good. So good.
That sounds right up your alley.
Yeah.
It was so good. Oh my God. And it was like, it's like dark academia, like toxic sex, like you don't know who to trust, and there's like little like unsettling things that you're like, well, that's kind of weird, and then like they become a bigger issue later on in the book. Oh,
What's the name again?
Providence.
It's the one that just came out. A lot of people were talking about. I think it was a book of the month. Penitence? Pensions?
Oh yeah.
That's what I almost thought you said, and I was like, whoopsies.
I don't know that one.
I think it's one of those that's like a slower, more literary mystery suspense.
I'm out.
Very much up like, some people's alley, but probably not.
This one is like very much like, I wouldn't say like literary in the sense of like Donna Tartt, but like literary in the sense of like there's like a slower pacing to it.
Who's the author you said?
Craig Wilsey.
Fucking one. Okay, sorry. Because all of a sudden it said something in the. It's hold on. The one I accidentally looked up is by Jamie McGuire, and it said paranormal romance fantasy angels, and I was just like, oh really?
There are no angels. There are no angels in this book, especially with a character named Tyler.
Right, I was laughing.
I was like, wow, that should have been your first instinct to run.
Interesting.
Some guy named Tyler that likes to play mind games that you can't trust. Get the fuck out of there.
Immediately.
No thanks. I'm thinking about a segue. Can you guys just give me like a keyword that you're interested in?
Keyword that I'm interested in.
It'll help me. Here, this one I know Kate has read and liked. I'll do that one. And she's wearing pink today. This is how I'm going to pick. There.
Oh, nice. That works for me.
I really struggle at picking, you guys. All right, as you can tell. So, They're Vicious Games, I saw first because Kate recommended it. And the pink on this cover is really vibrating in this lighting. Okay.
It's amazing.
The cover is so good. And I will say, Kate and I are both YA selective.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes. I am jumping on that train. I am as well.
Nice.
Yes.
This one, if you like audio, it is very good. What did you say?
I was just like, welcome. He said he was going to jump on the train.
There's a seat for you right next to us.
Her little hand gesture felt very like maternal though, like a nice like warm hug.
I don't think anyone's ever said that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You've been my therapist for years. I might as well call you maternal.
You can come here. Let's see. Adina Walker has known this the entire time. Is that the first? No. Oh. Did that sound like the first sentence? Okay.
No, it did not.
Never mind. There's a pink sentence before the first. Well, you must work twice as hard to get half as much. Adina Walker has known this the entire time she's been on scholarship at the prestigious Edgewater Academy. Okay.
Are you thinking of a Cadbury egg?
That's what made me think of.
I don't know.
I can't.
Did somebody buy you an egg at the bar?
You're right.
Me too.
I'm really like thinking about how bad I've been at reading today.
You psyched yourself
it's
out.
It's getting worse. Oh, okay. There's so much left.
I didn't even know you started. You lost me at a Cadbury.
It's literally the second sentence. Okay. I thought it was the first sentence. Okay. Whew. She's been on scholarship at the prestigious Edgewater Academy, a school for the uber rich and mostly white New England upper class. It's why she works so hard to be perfect, above reproach, no matter what she has to force under the surface. Even one slip can cost her everything. And it does. One fight, one moment of lost control leaves Adina blacklisted from her top choice Ivy League college, and any other. Her only chance is to regain the future she's sacrificed everything for is the finish. A high-stakes contest sponsored by Edgewater's founding family in which 12 young, ambitious women with exceptional promise are selected to compete in 3 mysterious events: the Ride, the Raid, and the Royal. The winner will be granted entry into the fold of the Remington family, whose wealth and power can open any door. But when she arrives at the finish, Adina gets the feeling that something isn't quite right with both the Remingtons and her competition. And soon it becomes clear that this larger-than-life prize can only come at an even greater cost, because the finish's stakes aren't just make or break, they're life and death. Adina knows the deck is stacked against her, it always has been, but maybe the only way to survive their vicious games is for her to change the rules.
Fuck yeah, it is.
There was even a sentence in there that I'm like, oh god, that could be taken the wrong way. Like, it just like kept going.
You did okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I loved that one. I'm still waiting for a YA that I love as much as that one and Ace of Spades.
Yeah. I think I actually was kind of surprised because given the synopsis of like this kind of high stakes game, like I don't think that would typically be for me, but I saw so many like good reviews and I'm glad I gave it a shot. So if you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I am not comping it to Saltwater, but there are some scenes in the book that like reminded me of some of the settings in Saltwater.
Oh.
Saltburn. Sorry, not Saltburn.
Okay.
Whew.
I still haven't watched that. God.
Words, man.
Where did it come from?
Where did what come from?
Elementary or whatever I said.
Oh, Academy.
I haven't laughed that hard in so long.
I know, and then I was keeping it together, and then Gare was moving off camera.
I know.
And every now and then I'd see his red face go across the screen, and then I'd almost laugh again.
At least I remember to mute my mic this time.
Right.
I kept looking up and seeing, like, out of the corner of my eye, you guys are still laughing, and I'm like, keep it together.
I was just like staring into the middle distance.
I was just like hiding. All you could see was my shoulder.
Yeah.
Going like this.
It was effective.
Fuck, there was like a YA book that I read recently that I really liked, and I can't think of what it was. Oh, Megan Lally.
Oh, yeah. Megan Lally's good. And also, I'm just going to do a very quick highlight because I'm not going to do another YA, but one of mine was How to Survive Your Murder.
Oh, I really liked that one too.
And it's YA, and I really liked it.
I just got my first Natasha Preston book.
Oh, yes. You brought her up the other day. I'm excited to hear what you think.
Yeah, it just came today.
There's
so I'm very excited.
So many.
I know. I was like, what if I really like her? And then I'm like, okay, now I have like 47 books to my fucking TBR.
I forgot who someone said something to me like, oh, have you read? Someone asked if I read her because I must have been talking up a different author that I like, and someone recommended her. So
I think a lot of people compare her to Faith Gardner.
Really? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So
nice.
Out of control.
Well, my next one is similarly evolves into some bloody horror like their Vicious Games. And I haven't talked about it in a little while, so it's time to talk about Kismet by Amina Akhtar.
Ooh.
Lifelong New Yorker Ronnie Kahn never thought she'd leave Queens. She's not an aim high, dream big person until she meets socialized wellness guru Marley Dewhurst. Marley isn't just a visionary, she's a revelation. Seduced by the fever dream of finding her best self, Ronnie makes for the desert mountains of Sedona, Arizona. Healing yoga, transcendent hikes, epic juice cleanses, Ronnie consumes her new bougie existence like a fine wine. But is it really? Or is this whole self-care business a little sour? When the glam gurus around town start turning up gruesomely murdered, Ronnie has her answer. All is not well in Wellness Town. As Marley's blind ambition veers into madness, Ronnie fears for her life. This one's kind of like...
Dang.
I've always said it reminded me of like Get Out in a wellness retreat.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I need to read that one.
Her books are just so like, I don't know. She has such a unique style.
Yeah, I agree.
Fashion Victim is like one of my favorite books ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the snark. Okay. So I listened to Kismet and I listened to hashtag Fashion Victim, and thus the narrator for Fashion Victim is so snarky. Like she was perfect.
That's the best.
I'm obsessed with
that. Have you ever watched the movie Sugar and Spice from the 90s?
Yes.
So you know the one girl that's like kind of bitchy and like wants to be on the squad so bad, but she doesn't make it.
Marla Sokoloff.
Okay. That's who she sounds like. In that, like when she's like, it's a fungus, leave it alone. Like when she's getting her toes done, I'm like, who does she sound like? Who does she sound like? And I'm like, it's her character.
I love Mina Suvari in that movie where like they're in the bathroom and she can't get out and she's like, son of a blue balled bitch. I always get this one. That's one of my favorite fucking movies in the entire world. Good. Oh my God. Ugh.
I'm obsessed.
Obsessed.
Yeah, it's so good.
Between that and Drop Dead Gorgeous, like, yeah, right?
Kate, have you seen it?
I have not.
It is, so I feel like us, Gare and I being like pretty much the same age, it might have like just missed you. It's like
there's a lot that missed me.
Yeah, well, and that. And so, but it is people, there are probably like the majority of the world would probably be like, what is this? And then there's people like us that are like, this is amazing.
Oh my God, I love that reference.
Yeah, like I feel like so many times I'll be reading books and I will think of Drop Dead Gorgeous or Sugar and Spice or these movies that if I reference them in a review, I'm like, does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God, I love that. Like, oh, Sugar, I need to watch that again.
Too. It's like there's one of the cheerleaders gets pregnant and they rob a bank.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So it's like all these like cheerleaders and they're like, let's just like rob a bank, but they like buy guns from like a garage sale.
Oh gosh.
And like have to like try to like put them together.
Oh no.
And they wear like these masks that are like a doll mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm obsessed. Oh,
you're next.
Yeah. I forgot because like you were referencing the narrator and I thought that it was Kate's turn.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, speaking of snarky, sassy, bitchy, laugh out loud, if I can get everybody in the world to read this book, it would make me so happy. Look What You Made Me Do by Elaine Murphy is one of my favorite freaking books in the entire world. Mm-hmm. It's about Carrie Lawrence, who just wants a normal life. She doesn't need a happily ever after. She'll settle for the after. After a decade of helping her sister hide her victims, after a lifetime of lies, she just wants to be safe, boring, and not trekking through the woods at night with a dead body wrapped up in a carpet. Becca wants to get away with murder. Becca Lawrence doesn't believe in happily ever after because she's already happy. She's gotten away with murder for a decade and has blackmailed her sister into helping her hide the evidence. What more could a girl want? But first they have to stop a serial killer. When 13 bodies are discovered in a small town, people are shocked. but not as shocked as Carrie, who thought she knew all of the details of Becca's sordid pastime. When Becca swears she's not behind the new grisly crimes, they realize the town has a second serial killer who has the sisters in his sights, and what he wants is Carrie. I love the relationship between like the sisters, and like Becca is like so bitchy and snarky, but like also like, do you ever like talk to somebody and they're like so oblivious as to like why you don't want to do something or why you do? Like if you're like, oh, I just feel like relaxing tonight, and they're like, why? Like that's like Becca, but like with like murder. You know, like Carrie's like, I want to live a boring life. I don't want to help you hide bodies. Like, I'm over this. And like Becca's like, it's not that big of a deal.
Like, stop being so boring.
Like, put your back into it. You know, like she just like is like, it's not a big deal. Like, and she always has like an excuse for why she like killed somebody.
There's both of those are because it's 2 books. They're so good.
Oh my god, I'm like obsessed. I could read like, it's like a darker like Finlay Donovan for me. Like this is my like Finlay Donovan. Like it's very dark. It's very creepy. Like it is not like a Finlay Donovan at all, but like the plot is very dark, but like the dialogue and like the snark in it is just like chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Did you read the second one?
Yes, I did.
There's just 2, right?
Yes. Yeah, I loved both of them.
I interviewed her for the second one.
Yeah, she's, I mean, it reminds, like the dialogue reminds me a lot of like Scream Queens.
Oh, nice.
Or like anything Emma Roberts is in.
Basically. I could see her being in it.
I think I picked her for Becca, yeah. And then Carrie, I think, was Victoria Pedretti.
Look that one up.
Love and You.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see them being sisters for sure.
Oh, I know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with, I try to hype books that I don't see around that much for my last one, and I'm picking Sugar by Mia Ballard.
I love that cover.
I love that cover.
Oh, it's so good. Her new book that just came out has like really the cover is so unique, and I think it's super fucked up, so it's just like amazing to me, like because it's such an innocent looking cover. But so Sugar, okay, this book is crazy. Do not go into this and then be like, oh my god, that's so unrealistic. Like go in and be like, it's gonna be
I love that.
Yeah. Well, here, the big red sentence. Satara is unhinged and unwell. All right, that's where we're starting. When 35-year-old Satara Stratton discovers her husband Dean's treacherous affair with her best friend Lila, she plunges into familiar territory, deceit and death. Having disposed of men before without a hitch, she finds a new thrill in this betrayal. But with Lila on a crusade to expose her guilt, Satara must outpace everyone to keep her secret safe. Her fate intertwines with Millicent Garcelle, a love witch whose tempting spells seem a perfect solution to Satara's woes. With newfound power at her fingertips, she gleefully manipulates the affections of those around her. Yet Satara's lust for love proves her ultimate downfall, and she soon learns that while it's easy to bend others to her will, controlling her own heart is a perilous art indeed. Prepare for a darkly compelling journey where the boundaries of desire and devastation blur, and the quest for love becomes Satara's most lethal game.
Damn.
I need to read this.
Yeah.
And then it says, step into the twisted psychedelic world of a femme fatale hooked on love and acid in this gripping tale of suburban chaos served with a 70s twist. Satara navigates a landscape drenched in love, betrayal, murder, and witchcraft. Yes, it takes place in the 70s, and she does a lot of acid.
Yeah.
That's just like her little, like, I'm just going to pop this a little.
Pop some acid.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of, like the synopsis kind of reminds me of like Kill for Love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By Laura Picklesmeyer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the like over the topness of that, yes. Like how like that ending is just like crazy. to me, this because at first I was like, what is happening? And then I was like, just like embrace what it is. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. In the end, I was like, what? So
Damn.
I did like it. And it's very short. Like it's, I don't know.
I've been reading.
250?
I've been liking shorter ones lately.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah. I think her newest one is called Shy Girl, and it's about like a sugar daddy situation. And I'm like, ooh, I'm interested.
Yeah. It says he like offers to pay all her debts if she lives with him full time. Yeah. And the longer she's with him, the more animalistic she becomes, is all it says.
Yeah, and I've heard it is insane.
Damn. You just have me wanting to read everything.
I know. Oh my god. Wait, it's out.
Yeah.
Her new one.
Oh yeah, I think it might have just come out in the last month or two.
Yeah. March 1st. I love a sugar daddy.
I know. I'm very intrigued by that.
My next one is one I read a really long time ago too, but best legal thriller I think I've ever read. It like sticks out in my mind that way. And it's called A Criminal Defense by William L. Myers Jr. When a young reporter is found dead and a prominent Philadelphia businessman is accused of her murder, Mick McFarland finds himself involved in the case of his life. The defendant, David Hansen, was Mick's close friend in law school, and the victim, a news reporter, had reached out to Mick for legal help only hours before her death. Mick's played both sides of Philadelphia's courtrooms. Mix played both sides of Philadelphia's courtrooms. As a top-shelf defense attorney and former prosecutor, he knows all the tricks of the trade, and he'll need every one of them to win. But as the trial progresses, he's disturbed by developments that confirm his deepest fears. This trial, one that already hits too close to home, may jeopardize his firm, his family, everything. Now, Mick's only way out is to mastermind the most brilliant defense he's ever spun, one that will cross every legal and moral boundary. I remember the ending being like shocking.
That sounds really good.
I know. I just loved it. Wow, I read it in 2017.
Oh. God, that doesn't seem that long ago, and then it is.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah.
I still get surprised when people are like somebody like were posting on social media the other day about like how that day marked like the 5-year anniversary of like the COVID pandemic starting.
Right.
And I was like, 5 years?
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
It is.
2 or 3, I would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But
it's so weird.
Also 2024, the entire year made me feel like I was on acid. So makes sense.
Oh my God.
Well, my last one is The Inmate by Frida McFadden, because I'm on a huge Frida kick, but also I was realizing that like a lot of the ones that I've read so far are like dual POV. And this one is actually singular throughout. So,
nice.
And it's one of my favorites. So there are 3 rules Brooke Sullivan must follow as a new nurse practitioner at a men maximum security. Treat all prisoners with respect, never reveal any personal information, and never, ever become too friendly with the inmates. But none of the staff at the prison knows Brooke has already broken the rules. Nobody knows about her intimate connection to Shane Nelson, one of the penitentiary's most notorious and dangerous inmates. And they certainly don't know that Shane was Brooke's high school sweetheart, the star quarterback who is now spending the rest of his life in prison for a series of grisly murders. Or that Brooke's testimony is what put him there. But Shane knows, and he will never forget.
Damn, that's crazy that he got in there if she works there or vice versa.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So I think there is like, there's either like flashbacks or dual like timeline, but it is a singular POV. And when I tell you, like, I think this was the second one I read after The Housemaid, and I flew through it in one night and was like, okay, like there's drugs in this book, because like I just could not put it down, and it was so freaking good, and it was super cinematic, and I loved it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a Frida Rita.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, since someone said the name Faith Gardner earlier, I'm going to talk about the Mirror House Girls, which came out earlier this year, last year, I don't remember. She's got a lot of books too, kind of like Frida, like multiple a year.
Yeah.
By the way, her covers lately have been banging. An isolated
Faith?
Yeah. This one I think is good.
I love that cover.
I love that cover.
An isolated compound, a so-called family, a collision course with unthinkable violence. It's a cult thriller. When Winona rents a room at the eccentric Mirror House, she hopes to make new friends. What she gets instead is a family led by the charismatic psychologist Simon Spellmeyer. But if she wants to stay at Mirror House, Winona must join in, following Simon's strange protocols for self-improvement. Warning bells chime inside her, yet the allure of the transformation keeps her there. His methods are disturbing, but the results are undeniable. Soon, Simon's vision for their future spirals in a darker direction. The group relocates, expands, and Winona's once close bond with her housemates grows fractured by mistrust until she's trapped among people she hardly recognizes, including herself. Can Winona wake up to the true cost of Simon's vision in time to get out alive, or will the utopian dream descend into a tragic nightmare? Shocking.
Man, I need to read it.
Cult doesn't work out. Just kidding. I don't know. But you know that right in the beginning. That's not a spoiler. Like, you know right away. Like, so this one, it is a single POV, but there is like a little documentary throughout.
Nice.
You kind of know like something goes awry right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's also a thriller. I mean, shit goes awry in thrillers all the time, right?
Yeah.
What a surprise. Simon sucks. It's always a man. Oh, here's my drive-by. My little like Bloodlines by Jess Lowry. Bonkers.
Bonkers.
The Haters by Robin Harding. Don't see it around that much.
So good.
Book about an author. Black Sheep, Rachel Harrison. Culty, demonic, amazing. And All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby.
Oh my god.
You were so good at that.
Thanks.
I feel like we need a rapid fire Steph segment every time.
Well,
I know, right?
If these piles just keep coming,
right,
I can do it.
I also want to shout out Ashley Winstead, because This Book Will Bury Me is officially out now, and as Kate reminded me in our group text, it is a single POV. So
it does have like a lot of like online dialogue, so sometimes it's like hard to even remember that, but it's technically like a book within a book, which is cool.
Yeah, it's my favorite one of hers so far too.
So good.